So sick of it. Like, how dare you try to dictate to me what my life should be like, or what I should do in the morning, or what I should do at night, or what I should do during the day. Like, things aren't going to just happen for you. Like, you actually have to make it happen for you. Hi guys, I'm Rebecca. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're talking about the things I wish I knew before I started adulting. I'll say this, I'm not an expert, but I just turned big 23, so why not share some of the things that I've learned throughout my journey of adulting so far. Hopefully, since most of the people on my channel are in that same phase of like trying to adult or getting to that place where you're trying to be more responsible, then there's tips that you can grab from this video as well. So the first thing I wish I knew, which I kind of knew, but I wish I knew to this extent before I started adulting, is like, you never get a break. Like, everything is down to you. Like, if I don't cook, I'm not going to eat. If I don't clean, the house is going to stay messy. And there's like so many things that you don't really think about or you don't factor in. Like, I have to be intentional about every single thing that I do. And if I don't, then it's going to hold me back, or something's not going to get done, or like the house is going to stay messy and things like that. And I think coming out of that, granted, I'm still adulting, I've learned the importance of like being intentional about taking breaks or having time for myself, or saying like, look, you know what? The room can stay messy tonight. I'm actually not going to clean. Or saying, you don't have to cook today. You can eat like an easy meal and then come again tomorrow. So it's like finding ways to recognize that, okay, I'm responsible for pretty much everything, which can be hard and it can be a burden, but recognizing that you don't always have to be like perfect with every single thing that you're doing. So say you have a routine, like as much as I'm adulting, as much as I have this routine to help me grow and to help me like stay on track with certain things, if I fall off for one day, that's actually okay, because I need a break. That ties into my second point like perfectly. So my second point is having a routine is so important. So for example, I work a 9 to 5 at the moment. So between 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, that's 6 hours where I finish work. That's like free time. If I spend that time like watching Netflix videos or like Disney Plus or watching YouTube videos or scrolling through my Instagram or being addicted to TikTok, which a lot of us are, then that will have an impact on one, how I feel about myself, one, on how I'm progressing, or like the things that affect my mind or the things that I entertain will ultimately affect like where I am in life, or will affect like my mindset, will affect like my ability to grow or to progress in certain things. So it's like, for me, having a routine or having structures in place or doing things that are going to help me to grow on a daily basis, whether that's like exercising or meal prepping, all those things that I'm doing on a daily basis are helping me to like reach the goals that are on my vision board, or helping me to reach the goals that I see for myself as I'm growing or learning or developing into adulthood. And I'm one of those persons, like I've seen those productivity routines or those nighttime routines or those morning routines, and sometimes I get like so sick of it. Like, how dare you try to dictate to me what my life should be like, or what I should do in the morning, or what I should do at night, or what I should do during the day to make sure that I'm productive. But at the same time, there's like tips and things that we can pull from it for like recognizing that literally, if you want a certain life for yourself, then you're going to have to go after it. Like on my vision board for this year, and probably for every vision board that I'm going to have here and out, there's a quote that says, life is what you make it. And that's literally it. Adulting is what you make it. Where you end up is what you make it. And those routines that you have, or those daily things that you decide to do, is what's going to count for helping you to get to where you actually want to be in life. I'll just say this quickly as well. If you guys are interested in seeing me share like routine videos, and let me know as well, because I do quite enjoy looking at them and I do want to create them myself. So if you're interested, let me know in the comments and I'll keep those videos coming. My third point is like, you control your reality more than you realize. And I feel like I've kind of touched on this a bit in saying that life is what you make it. But when you look at it from this perspective of what you allow to entertain you has an impact on literally how you perceive the world, how you perceive yourself, how you perceive your environment. So even in that sense, like being intentional or being careful about what you listen to or what you watch, or like things like that, can have an impact on, one, how you are, how you grow, your mindset, and then your approach to like tackling certain things and like working towards achieving your goals. But even outside of that as well, like the things that you do, granted, like I said, as an adult, you don't get a break, which can be a bad thing, but it's also a case like you are the one controlling where you end up. So if you're not putting in the work, if you're not, say for example, in the next 5 years, like you want to own your business, if you're not doing things now to learn more about business management, or you're not doing things, say you want to be married in the next 5 years, and you're not doing things to like find out more about dating, or you're not like searching or looking or whatever like that, then ultimately it's going to be much harder for you to reach your desired reality. Like things aren't going to just happen for you, like you actually have to make it happen for you. And while life is what you make it, and you can control your reality to an extent, it doesn't mean that everything is going to happen to you exactly the way you want it or according to your timeline. Like, say I wanted to own my own business in 5 years. That might not happen, but during my period of working for that to happen, during my period of trying to make sure that happens, even if it doesn't, then what am I doing in the meantime? Am I like reading books that is going to teach me about how to run a business? Do I have like mentors or people that can help me learn skills and develop? Am I immersing myself in like the industry that I want to work in, so I have as much skills or as much knowledge as possible? Like all these things, you controlling the bits of your reality that you can at the moment is what's going to have the biggest impact on you reaching the goals that you've set, or the goals that you know that you want to get to. Fourth point. I think I'm on my fourth point. Sorry for the clap. Hobbies are so important. And that goes back to routines as well. Like I've been stuck in that rut where I've come home from work and I just don't know what to do. Or like I cook and I eat and it's like, okay, there's like 4 hours. What am I going to do with 4 hours before I go to bed? And it's easy when you're at that point, and maybe when you're living by yourself, where you just find things to entertain you, or you allow like TikTok or like social media to dictate like what you see and what entertains you and stuff like that. But then having things that you enjoy doing can really just enrich your experience and help you to relax. Like I'm that kind of person. I can't go on social media to relax. It makes me more agitated, or I come away from it feeling like I've literally just wasted a few hours. So instead, I'm like trying to find hobbies like sewing, for example. Like going for walks or like exercising that helps me feel more accomplished in myself. Like even if it's like maybe you're creative and you like painting or you like drawing, or like you want to dance and you want to do a dance class, that's gonna be me soon. Then finding things outside of the mundane to really enjoy yourself, even if it is an investment. Investing in hobbies can be a good thing as well. Like you're developing skills, you're looking after yourself, you're developing yourself in other areas outside of like professional development, and all of that is good. All of that is good, and all of that will help enrich you as well. So the fifth thing that I want to share is work good. Work good. And I learned this from my dad like growing up. And what good basically means like be careful of the way that you approach people, or don't go around making enemies out of people. If you do that in like the Caribbean, or if you do that in Jamaica, it's a problem. And for me, at least for this year, like I just want peace, no problems. And I've realized that as an adult, or like growing and understanding myself more, that I'm not going to get on with everybody. Like me and everyone, we're not going to be best friends. There's some people that I might butt heads with, especially as I'm growing and I'm learning to discover myself and just to be myself in like different environments. I'm not going to get on with everyone, and that's actually okay. But that doesn't mean that I shouldn't be amicable or peaceable around people. It shouldn't mean that I should be making enemies out of people or rubbing people the wrong way. Yeah, because I'm a big believer of the golden rule, like treat people the way that you want to be treated, and if what you give will come back to you. So if you're treating people like rubbish, that may come back to you in the long run. The final thing that I want to say, which I'm really learning, especially as there's talks about we're going into a recession and blah blah blah, it's like financial management, you don't learn that just by learning it. It's not something that you develop with age. It's something that you have to be intentional about. And I think like financial management is one of those things that I've had on my vision board for the last 2 years, and there've been little bits that I've been doing about it, but I haven't been doing it enough. And it's just when I talk about financial management, it's about managing your money, it's about knowing how to budget, it's about being intentional about not just like the work that you're doing on a daily basis. Say you have a job, or say you're studying to get into a certain career. It's about what you know about money and how to make your money work for you, and knowing how to make the most of an economy that may be rooting against you, or that wants to keep you in the certain class that you're in. And I find it so odd that I've been through school, I've been through a degree, been through an apprenticeship, been through high school, and all of these things, but they haven't really taught me, as much as I studied business management, I didn't learn how to manage money. Like, they didn't teach me that. As much as I had a class on financial management, I didn't come out of that experience feeling like I had a better idea, or I knew how to manage money, or I knew how to budget. Like, all those things are things that I've had to learn myself. And some of us, like, especially as adults, like, we can learn the hard way. We can get ourselves in debt, and we can get ourselves in tricky situations where we somehow get stuck in the rat race, or we have an income increase and then our expenses increase and things like that. And I think being intentional as an adult about learning about the basics of money, learning about the basics of like how to save, how to invest, what works for you, what you should be investing in, like even things like getting a credit card, which I'm still learning about. But learning all these things that life doesn't teach you, and that maybe our parents didn't teach us because maybe they didn't have the knowledge, is really important. And that it can be the thing that helps you generate wealth. You can be the person that begins to create generational wealth for your family. But that starts with you, that starts with learning, that starts with being intentional, that starts with like the routines that you have, maybe you're budgeting, you're saving and stuff like that. And that starts with that mindset of you control your reality. As much as we don't want to say it, money kind of makes the world go round, no? It's like money impacts your ability to afford certain things, to afford the life that you want, etc., etc., etc. So learning the basics of financial management, learning how to manage the lot that you have at the moment, in whatever scope you're in, like financial management, I'm bringing this back to like everything that you're doing at the moment will have an impact on like where you end up in the future as well. So those are my, I think that was 5 or 6 lessons or 6 things that I wish I knew before I started adulting. I don't think this is going to be the last video that I do on this. Granted, as much as I'm big 23, I'm still young, I'm still learning, I'm still developing. But I'd love to hear you guys share with me in the comments what are some of the lessons or the things that you wish you knew before adulting. That's one question. Second thing, if you had to describe adulting in one word, what would that word be? I'm gonna have to think about what would mine be. I think my word is going to be intentionality. Yeah, that's my words. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and tap the bell notification so you don't miss when I drop my next video as well. Right, I'll see you guys. Bye.